Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this NAKOOS Silicone Soldering and Repair Mat. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon. If you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So let's get this open. Okay, so I have this laid out here. Let's measure it real quick. We're at about 15 5/8. By just under 11 3/8. So this is made of heat resistant silicone. It can withstand up to 932 degrees Fahrenheit or 501 degrees Celsius. So it says in the product description you can hold a 450 degrees Celsius soldering iron up against it without damage. So this has some different features on it. It has some magnets up here in the corner. So I have a screw here. You can place those on the magnets and it will hold them. As you can see, it has areas up here for tools, and then it has these little memory cells. Actually, I think this will be easier if I just hold it up to the camera. So here's the magnet, here are the tool areas, and here are the memory cells. So if you're taking apart small electronics or components, you can use this to organize screws or components. And this says high temperature area, so it's thicker here in the middle, and then there's a ruler on the bottom. So it's kind of hard to focus in on my camera here. You can see we have inches and centimeters, and it goes up to 14 inches or 35 centimeters. So we'll throw that screw back there. So this would be great for doing things like electronics repair or soldering. So this is an ESD mat, so it discharges static electricity. We can put tools on it. We can place things like soldering irons on it. There's some solder. So I'll let this get heated up and we'll drip some solder on here and see if it's easy to remove or if it stains. So a mat like this would also be great for phone repair. I have this non-slip mat here to help hold it in place. And as I take screws out of here, I can place them in order up here to keep track of them. So I think that's a really handy feature. This is probably close to up to temperature. We'll try it out. There we go. The solder is melting. So I'll get a nice blob of solder on here. Okay, and it is dripping some stuff on the pad, so I'll try and flick this on the pad and not flick it anywhere else. There we go. There, we got a nice splat of solder there. I'll turn this off. So let's zoom in on this. I have my tweezers here. So that came right loose. So I'll throw that away now. I'll remove the soldering iron. And here we see a little bit of flux there. So I'm going to go take this over to my sink and I'll clean that off and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so I took this over to my sink and I just wiped it with a wet paper towel and I got it pretty clean. You can just kind of see where the flux was on here, but I got it very clean. I could probably clean this with a little bit of soap too and rinse it out and it would be back to new. But as you can see, this is very heat resistant. So I don't know why it took me so long to get one of these. In the past, when I would be soldering, I'd put down a piece of wood or something under it to protect my workbench, or on my older workbenches, it would just get solder on the workbench and would leave marks and scars. I think this is a much cleaner option. This protects the work surface, but it also helps me so if I'm taking things apart, I can organize onto it. It's much easier to see. It's a nice uniform surface too, so it's easy to identify components. So if I'm working with some surface mount components or some small through-hole components, they're very easy to see on this mat. So I think this is going to be a great addition to my soldering and repair station. So that's the NAKOOS Silicone Soldering and Repair Mat. That's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.